Hi friends, welcome back to the Little Red Cottages. Today I want to talk about this, the rocket stove. The rocket stove is an excellent little outdoor cooker that you could put together with just a bunch of bricks. And it comes in really handy if it's hot inside and you want to cook something outside. So I put it together this summer because I had the intention of making some rose water, and then my roses never bloomed. So I ended up using it for all kinds of other things. Super easy to put together, and also a really good prepping skill. If you are in an area that's prone to power outages or anything like that, it's just nice to have it set up, and let me show you. I'm going to first take it apart and then we'll rebuild it together. Originally I had this set up so that it faces a different direction, so it faces towards the house, but then I realized standing in front of it was kind of like a little slope, and so I decided to turn it so that I could stand in front of it, and so I can scoop the ashes away from where my feet are. This is such an easy backyard project. Just be sure to put it in a safe place away from any structures, and definitely do not build one of these inside. I just keep my matches in here, and so what you'll need is a bunch of bricks. I can't remember how many, I'll count them up in just a minute. And you'll need a little piece of like hardware cloth or screen or something, and then just a nice level place to put it on, and that's about it. All the daddy longlegs like to live in this chimney. If you're not a spider lover, sorry. I love all the little creatures. All right, let's rebuild it so that you can see just exactly how it goes. Ooh, it's super hot out, which is wonderful because it's the middle of October, and I'm all about the heat. So, all right, let's start working on putting this thing back together. We're going to wait till tomorrow to put it together because we have the gun club across the way is having their weekly shootout. So it's a little noisy in the neighborhood today. All right, well, it's quieter today, although it's kind of windy. Just to review, what you need are 29 bricks total. 28 full bricks, one cut in half, and a piece of hardware cloth. And then you also want to have a nice flat surface. What I have here is just some chimney block, 2 pieces of chimney block, leveled out, and a couple of pavers on top of it. This one's actually broken, but that doesn't really matter. So it gives it a little bit of height so it's easier to work with. But really the most important thing is that you get a nice level spot. As I said, we're going to start with a nice level surface, and we're going to go with 5 bricks all the way around here. Now, you can make this with a shorter chimney, but it's really up to you. I just happen to have a bunch of bricks. Now, make sure you're all nice and squared off as tight as you can, and then you're going to take this hardware cloth and make sure it's got a nice kind of crease to it, and then put it over here. So it's going to go on all the back pieces, and then you're going to build it up. I'm just going to match them up with the seams so that you're covering the seams tight as you can make it. That's that broken one. Now we're going to make a square on top of here. It's like playing with Legos. I used to love all those building toys when I was little. My brother got all that stuff. Lincoln Logs and Legos and all that kind of stuff, and I really love playing with it. But that and the JCPenney catalog, those are 2 of my favorite childhood things. All right, so we got that going on. Now we got to bring this one over there. So we're going to move this one out just a tiny, tiny bit. So yeah, you can just take your time as you go. You kind of want to make sure that The bricks are nice and tight. That'll hold the structure up a little better, as well as give you a better draw in the chimney. It might be a little too windy to light a fire today, but we'll see. Maybe the wind will calm down. It's actually pretty safe to use, but you never know when you're going to get like a big draft coming right through there. So being close to this maple, I might just wait. I do have some footage of cooking this summer, so maybe I'll just stick that in right here. Okay, so I'm going to switch up my design here on top, and I'm going to put these, instead of this way, I'm going to put them flat this way, and it gives it a little more surface area for when I put my grate on top of here. This is just a grate off the stove. Fits perfect right on top, and you'll see that my little pan fits perfect on there. I could put a big frying pan on there, and yeah, it's always good to have just a nice little lid to put on there and keep the chimney clean. To light the stove, place some paper or other dry material like a fire starter or even some leaves, something that will hold a short flame, into the very bottom under the screen. Place a small bundle of twigs on the screen shelf. Light the paper and feed the twigs into the fire. It's just that easy. The natural draft will encourage the flame. You can also feed larger sticks into the chimney to get the temperature up, but you'll want to control the fire from the bottom when cooking. I have no idea what we're going to do next week, but if you subscribe, we'll find out together. See you then. Well, the wind kept blowing yesterday, so I didn't feel comfortable lighting a fire. But I did find this footage from earlier this summer. You can see here the opening is facing in a different direction, and also the chimney is shorter. Another thing I didn't mention is that you can use a brick as a damper. Placed in front of the burn chamber, you can have some control of the airflow. It's not necessary, but a nice tweak to the setup. This is just a simple flatbread that I made. I'll put the recipe below. Some flour, baking powder, and salt mixed with some coconut milk. This recipe comes from my time in Belize. It's the same one for fry jacks, only they actually fry the dough in oil. Here, I just coat the pan. Anyhow, you can use real milk instead of coconut if you prefer. After you knead and rest the dough, spread it out on a floured surface, and then bake it on a hot skillet. Use the flatbread as you would any bread. If you want to know what we're doing next time, remember to subscribe. You can find us on Instagram at Little Red Cottages.